Mm. Hello, beautiful family in the light. So much love to all of you. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel, and also for those of you who are part of my 30, 60, 90 days presence meditation journey. I appreciate it so much. For those of you that are on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for giving this link a thumbs up and also leaving a comment under that. Really, really helps me. So I wanted to just come on live and share with you a couple of things. So in this 30, 60, 90-day presence meditation that I've been facilitating, and also I've been personally going through since January before leading the group, every day we get to, in our group, we get to sit in silence to see what's happening in our field and what is in the emotional, the mental, the physical body, so that we can give our attention to, so that we can love it, embrace it, acknowledge it, nourish it, whatever it is needing, so that then we can connect with this great presence and allow the great presence to stream through. It's a full hour, and there have been several people that haven't been able to join the group, but they're setting up private sessions one-on-one with me. In this 2 hours, I really walk you through it. And with the group, of course, is very, very special because it's a everyday support of this space, and the triggers that show up, and we're learning how to not feed the trigger, but embrace them as treasures, so then choose to act differently. So it's a really heightened awareness and choices. Some days we do better, some days we don't do as well, and we get to also share within the group what's taking place. So I had a very powerful experience that took place for me today that I wanted to come on live and share. So this is being recorded both on my private group page for this presence meditation, as well as my YouTube channel, which I feel is very significant to share with both. So for those of you that watch my YouTube channel, in June sometime, I had one of the traumas that had showed up in my field in June was when my car was towed, which is no big deal. Cars get towed. I've had my cars towed. But when I went to pick it up, what really came out was that a lot of things led into that. And finally, 29 years ago, when my father died in a car crash, and when they had shipped their car to this tow place that I had to go through, and all these things that I had buried really came through. Then it also tied to the fatal car crash that I was in when I was 7. So finally, I was able to meet all these things that had been deeply buried in me. So having said that, that video is on my YouTube channel. It's also on this presence meditation private page. And I really spoke about how as these triggers came out, how I was able to navigate it. And I experienced it, and I get to see it with each part. So having said that, moving forward to today, my mom had spent the night last night, and this morning before leading the meditation, she gets up early, and as she wanted to go, and before I lead the meditation, I noticed her car is not there. And so last night, I specifically brought attention to my mom, making sure she parked in the visitor parking. And she said, yes, yes. So just to double check, I had my son go outside, double check she parked in visitor parking, and she had the parking pass on there. So all check, good. So she came, spent the night, and all good. And in the morning, I see the car is towed. So this morning, just before starting the meditation, the presence meditation, I could feel a little bit of this uncomfortableness. So I embraced it, because that's what we do in this journey, the specific presence meditation journey. So I got to also sit with what was showing up in my field regarding being intuitive, highly intuitive, even as a child, where I would, as preventative, I would say things people, but it was, typically ignored or not acknowledged, or flat out just sort of like just not accepted. So, and again, that some of that came up, how it's been stored in my body, and I got to also acknowledge that so I can release that of my body. So having said that, but this time around, I wasn't having this pulsing nervousness as I had experienced the last time my car got towed. So as I finished the meditation, I saw my mom. My mom said, "The car is towed." I said, "How interesting. Did you park in this place?" She said, "I did." So I sent an email to the property management, and it was a delay for the response. So I contacted Michael. I said, "Michael, listen, I need your help before you have your sessions today." He was spending the night at his mother's house. I said, "Can you please call and find out why the car was towed? It was in the right place. It had the tag. What happened?" So get this. So we find out the car was towed because the tag on the license plate behind was expired. We're like, wow. So, okay, then this is what took place. No big deal. So now let me remind you this as well. The car is in my papa's name. He's in Miami because he's helping my brother with the storage, with all the stuff that they had to get out. So they're very busy there. He didn't take his hearing aid, so he cannot hear what we're saying to him. Meanwhile, my brother spoke to the tow people. They said, "We can't release the car. You need to have the title in Maryland. It has to be renewed." So we're dealing in the middle of this. Meanwhile, mom and I had planned to be at the other house. They've sold the house. We have the big moving sale Saturday. We have lots to organize. So suddenly there's like this is happening. So what was beautiful, because of the presence meditation in the morning and the way I was able to really align with the presence, breathe in the presence, I kept breathing through all of these one step by step. And I was able to, sorry, this one screen keeps popping up that I have to close it. So I was able to speak to my brother. My brother and I were able to tag team. And with my mom, we were able to get their registration and tag renewed very quickly with our papa and that end. And then my brother was able to speak to the tow truck people. As all of this was happening, I felt, okay, we got this. The presence has our back. Nothing is happening out of, chance or anything like that. All is good. And I was breathing through it. And it was such a contrast to end of literally June, the way what was happening in my body. So I was just watching all of this, that I was more interested, and I felt very grateful that I'd been there before. I'd gone through the process. This time I'm here to be for my mom, so my mom doesn't have to experience it on her own. Worst case scenario, we wait till my papa comes back and we pay more money for it, no problem. So it was a much different attitude, which for me, that's one of the ways I measure success. Did I move out of the way that I handled it the last time? Completely different. Did I respond differently? Yes. Was it easier on my body? Yes. Was I triggered? No. Was I able to be calm and collect? Yes. Was I stressed? Slight stress, but did it pull on me? No. So these are all different ways that I really measure true success. Like, wow, from one state of consciousness that was handled a month and a half before, it's completely different way of handling that. So in the meantime, because of the ad we had put on Craigslist, we had different people that wanted to come look at the furniture. So there's a lot of beautiful furniture in the house. It was amazing. So Lord and behold, this wonderful lady came, and she ended up purchasing several of the furnitures. And that really took a lot of sort of like weight off of our shoulder for Saturday. They're going to come pick it up on Saturday. They have their own truck, and it was such a good collaboration. And I also got to, in this house, get to organize a whole bunch of things. And as I was walking through it, I was noticing the time that I used to live there for 3 years, the love that went into that house, the amount of women that were served in the goddess room. Every single month I had a goddess gathering. We talked about the holy blood. We'd spend 3, 4, 5 hours together, just embracing being in our goddessness, being in a sacred divine feminine body, embracing this holy temple. The amount of meditation classes I taught there, the kirtan, weekly kirtans we had, all the ohms, the yoga classes, the samba classes, because I had a center down there. It's a big house. So it was incredible as I'm watching this, and there are few furniture items that are still remaining part of that, and I was just really, really embracing all of it. And on to being able to go then pick up the car. So interesting enough, because the car was not in my mom's name, it's in my papa's name, but the insurance is still under theirs. In total trust, we went. They were able to release the car to us. Thank Goddess. And this 100-degree hot weather day today, we were able to take care of all of these things. And as exhausted and tired, going up and down 3 flights of stairs, up and down and up and down, and moving furniture, it just pure exhaustion. On top of it, dealing with all this with the tow truck, like everything in DMV and clients. My attitude was just gratitude today. And I felt, wow, what a great success this is. Because are we looking for anybody else to be grateful for us? No. Can you be grateful for you? Can you really embrace your inner success? Did you handle things differently than the way you would handle things in the past? And my mom's attitude was just fantastic today, and we were able to have a lot of quality time. And these next couple of days, it's all about this house wrapping up, finishing, closing as my brother flies in. And there's such a beautiful feeling of a completion of a cycle that is quite extraordinarily beautiful. And it was interesting because when I spoke to Michael this afternoon, exhaustion going, he had 3 clients in Maryland when he was working, but he was just so focused that he's tired because he worked. And I always find it interesting. It's like somebody else has also been really busy, really worked, and I can still hold that space for him. But for him, he's just exhausted because in his work, he's the only one who worked. Like it's just fascinating. And it's okay too, because again, it goes to, are you relying on anybody to acknowledge you? Are you relying for anybody to just say, hey, thank you for all your, dedication today? And that's what this presence meditation, when we tune into the great presence, the presence is really able to handle these daily things that come up that may be annoying, that might be frustrating, that may be extra stress, that may be typically just pulling on your field. You're able to handle it much more smoothly, easier in the system. And one big contribution, part of it, is because the signal inside from the nervous system has completely shifted, where it is not signaling trauma anymore. Because in this days and days and days where we've been sitting in the silence, meeting what's in our field from the, what shows up in form of also trauma, we're able to rechange the signal. So vibrationally, we're now signaling a different alignment vibration. So even when situations come, we experience it differently. And if anything, we're grateful for it. And that to me is a tremendous true success. So I wanted to come on before I go jump in the shower. I'm totally sweaty, just to share what took place today and how important it is when things come up. You have the power to give to the trigger, or you have the power to be able to allow what showed up and how you can now navigate it differently. And you can navigate it differently what you have had before, days and days to meet with different triggers and have them be untangled out of your body, so you are in different resonance, different octave, different vibration, so you can handle these daily things differently, because we are bringing the embodiment, and that's what the gift of the living presence is. As we meet these debris in our field, in our physical, emotional, mental body, then the presence is able to come in because there's more room, and is able to handle these stresses of life very differently than the way we had handled it in the past. I can definitely tell you the way things were handled today were completely different than me and the bad, because it would have, stressed me out more, and I probably would have complained, or just it would have just weighed on me a lot more. None of that. And that I measure true success, because that's a true transformed state of awareness where that inner peace is the operating system. That inner ease is the operating system. You cannot create peace, you cannot create ease. It doesn't work that way. It's when the inner system has shifted its vibration in signaling that, then it can handle the situation very, very differently. So that's why I wanted to come on and share with you. I'm very grateful to those of you who've been so patient for me to respond back to you in email and setting up this private 2 hour session with you, helping you how to navigate, helping you to start this meditation. As most of you know, I started this in January and all the way till the end of May. So for 6 months, it was completely dedicated to me, about 2-3 hours a day before I could serve anybody else. So I can really dive in this space. Then started the group in as of June. Then the group wanted to go to July and wanted to go to August. So we're now in this. Today was day 74, 72 experience, and some of the second group took part in July. So I'm still assisting, and we'll wrap up end of August. And I can't express enough how incredible it's been for me to, as a facilitator, to experience my own transformation amongst with the group, and the group members experiencing their transformation, and this sacred space that really holds the vibration for us to share and really um, authentically really recognize what are the things that are going on in our life, and how we are choosing from an empowered state to handle it differently versus before, when we would handle it with a lot of trigger because we have traumas inside. So it's a lot of clearing of old traumas. And I can definitely tell you from this place, this is a true transformational experience where all of those things that you go try to, somebody do it for you, pull the cords, cut this, do that, it doesn't work, because it's not being transferred. Cellular memory, the mitochondria is still holding the memory. And once we are able to courageously meet in that place, we are able to have it move into motion and begin to untangle out of the body, and we are in a new aware state of presence, state of consciousness, and we have no choice but to operate from here, which is a very empowered state. So much love. If this video helped you, please leave some comments for me. If I can be of service to you, please email me, honeyb1111@gmail.com. And I'm very grateful to my presence meditation group. You all have been so incredible, and it's beautiful as a facilitator that I get to also share with you what I experienced, because we are all in it together. So have a marvelous day and lots of love to everyone.